had this value that was well addressed and understood. You know you could buy so many cows, you know you could transact so many things with a particular measure of gold. In fact, we talk about talents of gold and silver. Sometimes I get a question about that. A talent is a weight. It's a measure of weight. And it is typically 65 to 75 pounds as we know it today. You know what that weight was? It was the mass of a particular amount that could be carried on the back of a slave in a forced march one day's distance. So when you heard of paying a king's ransom of 1,000 or 10,000 talents of gold and silver, they would literally take the gold and silver, put it in a backpack on a frame, and they would march 10,000 slaves, each with 75 pounds on their back, for long days and nights to make that payment. So a talent is not the ability to tap dance or sing. The talent was a weight that a slave could carry. I don't know if I completely addressed your question reasonably well. What happens is this, just like today, if platinum, for example, has a well-known relative value, in today's day and age, you can actually use platinum and gold and silver for very specific things in military, electronics, and all kinds of stuff. There are attributes in electronics of many of these finer, noble metals, okay? And as a result, and we also know that gold and silver they don't oxidize or tarnish the same way that other less noble metals do. They don't react the same way chemically. So the very nature of gold and silver and its fineness would have been shiny, pretty, valuable, relatively rare, and that was what set through an international standard and acceptance of value. That's how that was done. The reason why bronze was important, by the way, is because in times of peace, it's great for circulating as coins. In fact, they're often made into rings. And sometimes they'd wear lots of them on their neck. And if you wanted to go in someplace and pay for your night in a hotel, or buy food, or pay for your horse to be taken care of, you'd undo your thing, and you'd throw 6 round pieces of bronze on the table, and it would cover you for the night. In time of war, those same pieces of bronze could be made into weapons. Sharp-edged weapons. And that was the intrinsic value of the bronze. I hope I've addressed the question. Ma'am?
Where do you get these coins today?
They magically appear in my mailbox. Don't tell my wife. I go to about 20 coin shows a year.
Oh,
okay?
Coin show.
And I go to coin shows. No, actually, I am a part-time coin dealer. I actually set up at these shows, and I transact. So I do buy from other coin dealers, but most of my coins come from Germany, the Holy Land, Spain, and England. Okay? So I'm on the road a lot. My wife will agree with that. And sometimes she enjoys it and appreciates it even, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are these coins dug up in archaeological digs?
Typically, I would say not, because those that are dug up in true archaeological digs are sitting in the back of some museum in a box in the dust. Probably, if they're bronze, they probably have bronze disease on them, not having been conserved well, not being studied, because they're very common, quite typically. I'm constantly in a battle with myself. Many of the coin dealers I know sell artifacts. I refuse to sell artifacts because I believe there is a cultural heritage associated with the artifacts of ancient civilizations that is really sacrosanct. And a lot of these things are actually found in burial locations, okay? Not just coins, but the artifacts. And I think it's inappropriate to encourage the looting of sites, okay? And I'm kind of glad you bring it up, because I do want to spend a minute talking about it. So I don't sell artifacts. I collect a few, especially around biblical era stuff, because I enjoy that. I've got a 1st century Roman nail found in Judea. I've got fishing hooks found in Judea at the time. Really cool stuff. But there are people that take advantage of a marketplace that buys and trades in in these kinds of artifacts, rare artifacts. And I don't agree that that's a good thing. I do contend, however, that coins that were made for circulating widely and broadly across civilizations, across cultures, across geographic boundaries, were meant and intended to do just that. And so the coins of these era, that are found on the agora or the plaza of an ancient Greek city, or if they're found in a burial site, personally, I can justify the fact that coins were meant to be broadly exposed. I will say that there are countries that have very good systems in place for supporting people that find treasure, ancient treasure. The UK specifically has something called the Treasure Trove Act. And in that, you as a hunter or finder might find an old clay pot that is loaded with 4th century Roman coins. And there was one that had gold coins in it. Hundreds and hundreds of gold coins, thousands of dollars a piece. And that man had permission to be hunting on that property. And he took that trove, that treasure he had, to the local folks, and they documented it. They went out and they found other stuff in the area. And that finder and the landowner split half of the value that was found. Now, in most of the cases in treasure trove stuff, what is found is so common that it simply is given back to the finder and to the landowner. And they would then perhaps sell it to the secondary marketplace for numismatics or the study of coins, okay? And that's where a lot of the coins I get come from. For example, the shekel of Tyre, the 30 pieces of silver coin, the coin in the fish's mouth, and the coin used to pay Judas, okay? That coin that was in the plastic, that was part of a hoard of about 500 shekels that was found in Isfahan. And I don't even know where that is, but it's over there. It's over there somewhere. So, but the idea is that, there are certain rules of the game. Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay. Sir.
How heavy is the replication of the ancient coins? I know we have it in the U.S. coins.
Oh yeah.
Because I have seen them. In fact, I have silver dollars that are the keys.
Yes, the 1893. Yeah. Oh yeah. It turns out the question is, how prevalent is modern fakes of ancient coins? And I will say that it is absolutely prevalent. A few years ago, we started getting new TV sets. And where is he going with this thing? High quality, high definition television led to the development of more and more History Channel and Expose and Discovery Channel. There are more and more shows out now that are driving history right into our living rooms, and there is a great demand for these historical artifacts, whether they're real or fake. And there is a secondary market now in fake coins. In fact, there's a guy named Slave in Bulgaria who makes absolutely the most remarkable first century Roman silver coins. You can hardly tell the difference between them, okay? And it's scary. And I stopped buying first century Roman silver coins, except from some very key dealers that I knew that had provenance on the coins because they were bad. Fakes were good. For example, those modern silver dollars, part of the reason why? There was a little thing called an earthquake in San Francisco in the first decade of, 1908? I can't remember when the say again?
1909.
1909. I knew somebody would know. I was born there. I should know, but I don't. So, where there was a mint there that shut down. You know where the press is that struck those same coins ended up? It got sold to China in the 50s. What do you think they're doing with that press over there in China? They're making exactly the same kind of coins with their own dies with our old presses, okay? Now, that being said, modern forgeries are often fairly easy to figure out. There are casting lines and separations, and weights are wrong, and style might be wrong. So knowing this stuff, if you're going to buy ancient coins, you should buy ancient coins from trusted dealers at trusted locations. Online, there's one particular website that my company has been associated with. It's kind of an online ancient coin mall. And there's like $40 million worth of coin inventory online that you can look at. And you can sort by city, town, gold, whatever you want. And all the dealers, about 140 dealers on that, are actually vetted in order to be able to sell. And every coin that's put up has eyes put on it by at least half a dozen experts. And so they also have an unconditional guarantee for authenticity. So buy coins from people that know this stuff and that you trust. Don't buy coins online, on eBay, at half the price of what it should be. There are some rules of the game that make a lot of sense. You know what, though? There were a lot of coins that were copies, contemporary with the time, contemporary counterfeits that were made because it was easy to cheat. If you had a silver coin, one day's pay coin, if you made that coin out of copper and then put sheets of silver on each side of it and then struck it, for a while it would look just like that silver coin, but it didn't cost as much to make. These are called forays. They are contemporary counterfeits, and I buy and sell forays for very specific people regularly because they are quite common, and in some cases they have rather high value. Does that address your question? Thank you for asking. I think that I've gone way over my time, and I apologize, but you've been a great audience. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to have come and served today. Feel free to hang around later, and we'll, thank you.